歴史を刻んできた和光に新しいシンボルが誕生するわけでございます。それではオープン。
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and thanks for joining me. And for you new folks, thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I hope you like the channel. I hope you like the content. And again, thanks for joining me. Today we have a very interesting Seiko Japan edition automatic from their classic line. I've seen this also called a Spirit, like a Seiko Spirit line. It's a little bit confusing because there's not much information about this watch either on Seiko Japan's website or Seiko USA's website. You actually have to type in the model number to find this watch. So it's a little secretive. I'm not quite sure why Seiko was withholding a lot of information. I think this is a JDM watch that they decided to also sell in the US. It's made in Japan. It's got Japanese text and stuff for their manuals. So I think it's a JDM watch they decided to bring over here. Anyway, the model number is SZSB016. And overall, I like the watch. It is a little bit, I don't want to say weird because that kind of, gives you like a negative connotation. I don't think it's weird. It's definitely different. Let's check this thing out. All right, guys, we'll get into this watch, but first check out my Amazon shopping channel if you like this or any of the other watches I've reviewed on my channel. I do get a very small commission, as you know, if you buy from my Amazon store, so I definitely appreciate it. So if this was a JDM watch box, it would look totally different. This is a North American watch box, but let me show you what you get inside. Of course, here's the watch. I think this is like Seiko's version of a Rolex Datejust. Now that dial, before I show you what's in here, that dial only has that kind of like radial blue in direct light. Any other time, it's gonna look almost black. And I mean, it has to be in direct, either incandescent light, fluorescent light, whatever, or outside to get that blue kind of radial shine there, that sunburst that you see. Beautiful dial, I like it. All right, so let's go ahead and take this thing out. Let's take it off its watch pillow. And this uses the new pin system from Seiko, which is incredibly easy to use. They include a little tool here. So as you can see, there it is. It's got all Japanese writing on it. I mean, this is, guys, I mean, it's a JDM watch that Seiko USA looks like they decided to start carrying. Let me get this little thing. This is your, looks like your warranty. Yeah, instruction manual stuff, warranty. And of course, you see your big manual written in Japanese. Let me see if it's also written in English. So English in the back, and I'm pretty sure Japanese in the front. Yep, Japanese in the front. So there you go. All right, interesting watch, man. Really interesting watch. I don't know. I'll be upfront and honest. I don't know if it's really my cup of tea. Of course, I don't drink tea. I can't stand tea. But anyway, I don't know. I mean, it seems like it's very well built for sure. And I'll go ahead and give you the specs here in just a second. You can check everything else down there in the description field. I don't know. It's an interesting watch. It's got a whole bunch of different, machining techniques and different features and different. It's kind of hard to really kind of get a grasp on this watch, why they did everything so different with this thing. I mean, it really is a hodgepodge of a whole bunch of different styles of watch and it's very odd. Anyway, let's go ahead and put this stuff back. And again, I'll give you all the specs you need to know. I'll put everything else down there in the description field for you. All right, so looking at a 40mm stainless steel case. It's 13.1 millimeters thick. It's 48 millimeters lug to lug. It starts on a 20mm stainless steel bracelet and it basically tapers down to 16. Water resistance is only 100 meters, which is 330 feet. You get the 4R35 movement, which is just the date, not the day, with a 41-hour power reserve. And of course, you get a Hardlex crystal. And the crystal actually has a facet on it. I don't know if you can see that right there. It's actually faceted. So this watch is really blingy. I mean, there's a lot of polished areas on it. And mainly the bracelet is mostly brushed, as you can see. So it's kind of a weird combination of a mostly brushed bracelet, as you can see. And you got kind of a weird gap right there. I'm not quite sure. I've seen ones where the gap is a lot bigger than that. But this one looks like they might have heard customers' complaints and closed that gap right there. But again, a mostly brushed bracelet and a highly polished case. It's very odd. And if you notice, these are not solid links on the end. They're not solid end links. And not only that, the bracelet kind of looks like an afterthought because you've noticed, look at the lugs. Look where the first link is. Look how short it is compared to the lugs. It doesn't fill out to the lugs. It's very short. I mean, this watch has got a lot of things like that where it looks like it really is just a hodgepodge of a million different Seiko watches, and they kind of put it all in one. If you look at the dial is pretty nice. Again, you've got that blue sunburst effect, only in direct light. Again, it kind of looks like a Rolex Datejust, except for these indexes are all rounded. They're rectangles, but they're like, really elongated ovals. You've got two at the top, and then each index has its own. You got the Cyclops. The Cyclops doesn't provide that much magnification. I guess just enough to actually warrant its use on the dial. It magnifies it a little bit, but at least the date window is very clear. I will say that. All the indexes are applied. They have a nice polish around them. If you look down here at 6 o'clock, there are 3 different fonts they use for everything. You've got automatic, then you've got, what does that say, jewels? I can't even read it. Yeah, it says 23 jewels, and then you see 10 bar, all in different fonts. It's really odd, guys. I like the skeletonized hands. That's nice. So if you look at the second hand, you've got a lollipop on the counterbalance right up there. And then you've got a lollipop here on the end of the second hand. Highly polished second hand, highly polished hands, hour and minute hand. And again, those indexes are really highly polished as well. The crown, I would think that they would have extended these crown guards a little bit. The crown itself is non-signed. It's non-screwdown. It's got nice grip to it. But the crown guards look a little strange being so short compared to how big this crown is. I don't know if this crown is actually just a little too big. It really is a mismatch of everything. And again, you're looking at the bezel, very highly polished. The sides of the case, very highly polished. You've got those drilled lugs there, so you can, swap this out for a NATO or some sort of rubber strap or whatever you want to put on there. I'm not quite sure why those lugs, look at that, man. Look how far those lugs jut out from the end link. Very, very weird. And again, the case of the watch is highly polished, but the rest of the bracelet is all brushed. You do have a nice machined scissor clasp there. I do appreciate that. Thank you, Seiko. Here is the case back. See-through case back gives you all the information you need. Again, you see those hollow end links. Very strange. Very, very strange. You don't have any micro adjust with this watch. If you notice, there's nothing. I mean, so you're going to have to basically get a half link or take a link out, add a link. There's no micro adjust with this watch, which is really, honestly, a pain in the butt to do. So you might want to swap this out for a NATO or some other type of strap if you need to micro adjust this. I haven't even tried this on yet, so I don't know if it's going to fit. I'm guessing it's probably going to be a little bit too big. I'm just guessing. But it does seem like a quality bracelet for sure. It's just, with no micro adjustment, it's going to be a pain. Well, I say that now, but those that new system they use with that little tool makes it incredibly easy to change out and add links on these watches. So I do like that. That's pretty cool. So it takes a little bit of the pain away from actually having to add or remove links to these watches. So pretty cool. So let's go ahead and try this thing on. Let's see if it even fits. I have a feeling it will. Yeah, it actually fits pretty good. It's a little tiny bit loose, but I'm afraid if I took one full link out, it would be too tight. I'd probably have to find some sort of half link maybe. I don't know. I could probably take out one link and it would still be pretty good. But it's real comfortable. You know, it's really light. I think it's only what is it? 133 grams. So it's still pretty light. You can see that shining in the blue light there. That sunburst. There you go. All right, let's go ahead and kill the studio lights, kill the monitor. Let's check out this Lume. Of course, you've got Luma Bright on this thing. Let's take a look. Interesting watch, man. Interesting watch. All right, let's check out the Luma Bright. There you go. I mean, it gets the job done. It's not going to be as bright as, like, you know, one of the Pro Specs models, but it's still plenty bright. It's still glowing. Normally, a lot of watches, when you shine it on, you know, the dial for like 30 seconds, it'll stay lit for about 10 seconds. But this was actually staying lit a long time. I mean, it is Luma Bright. It is some of the best Lume out there. So there you go. Pretty cool. All right, let's go ahead and cut everything back on. I really want to know y'all's opinion of this watch. I'm very interested to see what you think of this thing. It comes in multiple different colors. I think you can also get a black, I believe, and I think maybe even a green. But it feels very well built. I will say that, despite being kind of a mixed bag of Seiko watches and finishing techniques and features, and it feels very well built. I will definitely say that. I mean, it's a good looking watch for sure. Again, if you want, you know, Seiko's kind of version of a Datejust, of a Rolex Datejust, then this might be the watch for you. It's even, I think this is actually 39.9 millimeters instead of 40 millimeters. So it's, you know, again, it's right there with the Datejust so far as specs go. So interesting, very interesting watch. I like it, man. It's kind of grown on me. I have to admit, it's kind of grown on me. Anyway, guys, if you want to get one of these, head on over to Amazon. I think they're currently $349. And the funny thing is, I bought mine, and then the next day they went down to $189. So with the holidays, prices are going to be all over the place with these things. Of course, you know, Amazon, you know, that's what they do. If something is in, you know, limited supply, they jack the price up. It's kind of like the stock market, man. It's just the way it is. So again, you know, $349 currently right now. Again, yesterday it went down to $189. Now it's back up to $349 and $369. Anyway, I'll put a link in the description field so you can head on over there and pick one up if you like it. And as always, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you click that notification bell. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you on the next review. Take care. Bye-bye.